Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, we join Philippines city volunteers in Rizal province as they carry out work relief program for flood victims. In China, Tzu is holding a free clinic for the 721 disaster victims, where alumni teachings are also giving a helping hand. And continuing on our reports in Hong Kong, we see how sweeping Way Recycling Point is bringing families closer together. We kick off today's show in the Philippines as we join city volunteers who are continuing to help flood victims in Kasiklahan village of Rizal province by providing work relief program from August 15th to 19th to help residents clean up their homes. Let's take a look. After a few days of cleaning up their homes, the residents of Kasiklahan village in the Philippines, Rizal province may be tired. But upon the arrival of city volunteers each day, they happily pick up their tools once again and join the work relief program.
Tzu's work relief program is really a great help to all of us. If not, I wouldn't be able to clean this all up by myself. Tzu is real quick at mobilizing human resource. Thank you. I want to thank Tzu because it is with your help that we are able to overcome these challenges.
Most of the work relief program participants are adults. However, on this day, Jennifer brings her 13-year-old son to help with the cleaning work. The family only just experienced a fire disaster the year before and moved to the village to start anew. The recent flooding was devastating, but has brought the family closer together.
Our family has come across many unfortunate events, but we still believe that as long as we are alive, we will not be defeated. I will use the money I get from the work relief program to buy antibiotics for my son.
I don't have anything to do at home, so I told my mom I would like to help out. I don't want to sit at home. I would like to contribute too.
Here at the disaster area, residents are helping their neighbors after cleaning up their own homes, showing family-like love and care.
With cleaning up, we help each other out. It is hard work, but with everyone working together, we are able to overcome whatever difficulties that come our way.
Seeing residents of the Philippines suffering from such disasters, Mr. Zheng Yan became worried and wanted us to come here to help the disaster victims clean up their homes and help them return to normalcy as soon as possible.
Apart from helping residents with cleaning and bringing them relief items, Tzu volunteers from Taiwan also bring emotional comfort through sign language songs and also vow to accompany the villagers on the path to recovery. Tzu's work relief program in Rizal province had its last day on August 19th. Altogether, the program paid some 3,000 flood victims to clean up their communities. As usual, the blue and white clad Tzu volunteers could be seen working alongside the participants, helping them get their lives back in order. Here's more.
Joyce Lin, a mother of 3, has spent the last 5 days working in Tzu's work relief program. As she goes off to work each day, she gives her children to 11-year-old DaAi to watch.
No, I'm not worried. She takes real good care of them. I just let them play together.
DaAi is the eldest sister of this household. In addition to Joycelin's children, she also has to take care of her own brothers and sisters, for a total of 9 children. However, her mother has confidence in her skills.
She will first put them to bed and then do the other things that need to be done.
An excellent student, DaAi's book bag was unfortunately washed away in the flood, and she hasn't been able to go to school for 2 weeks now.
Balak mo din pumasok sa eskwelahan? Hensang minsan 已经可以上学了，但是东西都没有。Anong gusto mo sa eskwela? Anong subject gusto mo?
Science po.
Science.
Helping watch over children while their parents go to work, DaAi knows that this is her way to getting back to school.
Go, go, go!
the Tzu Work Relief Program has helped disaster victims pick up the pieces. As well, the volunteers' efforts have brought hope to the community, as volunteers in training put on their rubber boots and grab a shovel to help clean up.
I feel very happy to have such a chance to do this.
Most of these volunteers are housewives who, out of love, have decided to get their hands dirty as they work to shovel out the mud that is everywhere.
Here we have all asked our housekeepers to help as a way to give them a chance to see blessings in the midst of suffering.
Mahirap pala, no?
So hard.
Ha?
Nakakapagod.
As the program has come to a close, the connections that Tzu has cultivated with residents here will stay for a lifetime.
Several days of heavy rain early this month also flooded the Marikina River, with waters destroying or heavily damaging the many communities alongside its banks. Tzu volunteers have been doing their best to help, from visiting the refugee camps to provide medicine and medical advice, to helping households along the banks of Marikina River rebuild their homes and their lives.
With a medicine bag in hand, Tima doctors and dentist Zhang Lijun is once again offering her medical expertise to those in need here at this refugee center.
She is sleeping in a dirty place, which makes her skin itch. She will then scratch at it and then break the skin, and the area will become infected.
This basketball court is where the adults, children, and even dogs sleep, and to either side is where the cooking and cleaning is done. In such chaotic and unsanitary conditions, it is the children who usually fall victim to sickness, either in the form of skin problems or digestive ailments.
Don't let her sleep on the ground. The ground is very dirty. They don't wear any pants, so they have a lot of problems, and it is easy for them to get infected.
Volunteers help apply medicine to children and also teach sanitation to these flood refugees who have been here for 10 days and are essentially homeless.
When I was moving something, my child suddenly ran to me and hot water spilled on her, burning her.
This empty lot used to be 28-year-old Marisa's home for 10 years.
The door was here. This was their house.
With their house gone, Marisa and her family of 5 had no choice but to rent a place to live. Although it is empty of furniture, they still have to pay $12 a month, and currently Marisa's husband is unemployed.
There was no one here to help us. Finally, there was a free clinic held by the Social Welfare Department and also Tzu. Thank God for your help.
This family also has its share of troubles. Their roof was blown off, exposing them to the elements day and night. Many other families along the river are also still struggling to recover.
Even when there is no rain, we will be flooded to our ankles. As soon as there is a little rain, we will be flooded to our knees. The most severe is when it will be up to the roof. So even with a little rain, we will be worried.
3 years ago, after Typhoon Kasana, residents were helped by Christian organizations. Following this most recent crisis, it has been the white and blue uniformed volunteers of Tzu that have stepped up to help these communities find their way again.
Cooking may be a problem in disaster areas, and to help, the Tzu Foundation is shipping nearly 500 boxes of instant rice from Taiwan to the Philippines for flood victims. The first set of some 300 boxes were shipped via EVA Airlines free of charge last Friday, August 17th, and Philippines Tzu volunteer Si Yazhu will be taking the remaining 100 boxes with her as carry-on luggage, again with help from EVA Airlines. As boxes of instant rice arrive in Taiwan's Taoyuan airport, Tzu volunteers help transport them to the counter for check-in. To help flood victims in the Philippines, Tzu Foundation is sending nearly 500 boxes of instant rice, of which Tzu volunteer Si Yazhu will be taking 100 boxes with her as carry-on luggage.
I live in the Philippines and also hold a Filipino passport, so I don't need a visa to get in. I hope that when I get back home, I will be able to deliver this instant rice smoothly to Rizal Province and Marikina City for the work relief participants.
我们要确定车子够啊，因为我们要带100箱的相机饭。
With timely help and coordination from DaAi Airlines, as well as Taoyuan's Tzu volunteers, the boxes of relief items will arrive in the Philippines shortly to help disaster victims.
DaAi Airlines has been giving selflessly to provide a channel to help us transport boxes of instant rice. The airline is not charging us for the 100 boxes that our volunteer is taking to the Philippines, and we are really grateful for that.
In a relay of love, Tzu and DaAi Airlines are sending their love and care to needy families, not only filling their stomachs, but also warming their hearts. Moving to China, in Beijing's Bangshan district, Tima held a free clinic in which over 40 doctors and medical personnel came to help. Among them, dentist Li Yibang and traditional Chinese medicine doctor Wu Yuwei, who were both teaching during university, carried out their missions as doctors to safeguard local residents' health.
At the Bangshan district free clinic, one little girl is crying and refusing to see the dentist. Mother and volunteers are trying to calm her down, but she is still afraid, so the dentist tries a different track.
We let her see her sister's treatment to let her know that it doesn't hurt and isn't scary at all. When I was treating the elder sister, I kept asking her, does it hurt? She always answered, no, it doesn't hurt. As the little girl trusts that the procedure won't hurt, she willingly receives the treatment.
This dentist is Li Yibang, who was a Tzu, so he has plenty of experiences in handling children. Another Tima doctor Wu Yuwei was also a Tzu. Dr. Wu carefully diagnoses the patient and uses acupuncture to treat the patient's needs. Being both a doctor and Tzu, he realizes that his mission lies not only treating people's disease, but also healing their heart.
In China's Sichuan, Tzu volunteers regularly visit underprivileged families in remote mountainous areas to bring care and love to those in need. On their latest trip to Guangji, Tzu volunteers not only handed out scholarship support to poor students, but also provided monthly subsidies to her family. To be able to comb her daughter's hair once again is a miracle for Ms. Zhang, who nearly lost her daughter to a car accident 4 years ago. The widow is grateful that her daughter, Zhang Jun, miraculously woke up from her coma.
I hope with more rehab, I can start writing again.
For Ms. Zhang, who farms for a living, the rehab cost and living expenses is a heavy burden. Luckily, Tzu volunteers showed up and took the family under its wing. The Wang family is under under Tzu's care. Of the 3 family members not related by blood, one is senior in age, one is in poor health, and the remaining one, Wang Minghong, is only 14 years of age.
With a strong determination and will, Minghong faces her challenge with bravery and courage, and she clearly knows what she wants.
Knowing that education is the only way to help the family escape poverty, Tzu volunteers provide Minghong with scholarship support each year, as well as monthly subsidy. With Tzu by their side, the family is on their way to a bright future. After a month of fasting, Muslims in Indonesia are celebrating Idul Fitr, a holiday that concludes the end of Ramadan. However, for those who can barely make ends meet, it is difficult to be in a festive mood. To help these people enjoy the holiday, Indonesia Tzu Chi volunteers handed out distribution vouchers to those in need.
In Indonesia, for the poor, the Idul Fitr holiday does not bring much to cheer about. Tzu Chi volunteers walk along a dirty river deep into the alleys here to visit residents and distribute aid supply vouchers. One of the recipients is Napisa, who is short of supplies, even though she makes her living by teaching people to read the Quran.
I really appreciate these supplies provided by Tzu Chi Foundation. I don't know how to repay the favor, but can only say thank you.
On the day of the distribution, local residents get in line to wait for aid supplies. Upon receiving cooking oil, sugar and rice, local residents begin to feel the happiness of Idul Fitr as well.
Food now is very expensive. I really appreciate Tzu Chi's care and aid supplies.
After the distribution, Tzu Chi volunteers help the elderly carry their aid supplies back home. With Tzu Chi's care and supplies, these needy residents can now also celebrate the Idul Fitr holiday with cheer.
In Hong Kong, Tzu Chi volunteers are promoting evening recycling times to offer those who work during the day a chance to participate in conservation work. Sui Ping Wei Recycling Point opens every Friday night, and over time, it has become a community activity that has brought the district closer together.
What are your plans for Friday night? Taking a scenic view? Shopping after work? Or dinner with friends?
Many dry cleaners have plastic bags that they only use once, so I asked them to save them for us to recycle.
Her Friday night plan is to go to Shui Ping Wei Recycling Point in Yuan Long district of Hong Kong.
We work in the mornings. Most of our volunteers here work in the morning. By the time we get off work, it's late, so we start at 7:30 p.m.
Night recycling is something Hong Kong Tzu Chi volunteers have scheduled to suit those who work during the day.
I just got off work, but I didn't have time to eat yet.
Chen Youting rushed over after work because she didn't want to miss out on the recycling. Although Chen Zhiming lives only 10 minutes away from the recycling point, it usually takes her about 30 minutes as she collects recyclables on the way.
A few are ones friends saved for me. Some are from that vegetarian restaurant, but this time it isn't that much.
Shui Ping Wei Recycling Point was established here a year ago. Since then, every Friday night, volunteers show up ready to work.
If there's a regular spot, regular time, the residents will be used to it. Every Friday they will see the volunteers and they will know to save up their recyclables and bring them at that time.
Establishing reliability in the community, residents are also discovering that recycling isn't just a fad to these volunteers.
他们就很用心，而且
The residents are very thoughtful. They know to wash the plastic bottles out clean, stack the plastic bags neatly. I'm very touched.
Like a marathon, it all started with the volunteers at the first leg of the race. Now the baton has been passed to residents, as many residents willingly continue the work of beautifying Hong Kong.
Who knew that recycling can also strengthen family ties? Next, we meet Tzu volunteer Li Xueyi and her family of 5 at the Sui Ping Wei recycling point. To the Li family, Friday night used to be spent out with friends, but today it is family bonding time at the recycling point. Friday nights I'd go to a restaurant, chat with friends or shop, and I definitely wouldn't go home, not really doing anything special, just out.
That was Li Xueyi's past lifestyle. This is her life now.
Let me introduce you. This is my father, this is my mother, and this is my cousin. My nephew is over there. My other cousin, he's over there.
There are 11 people at the Shui Ping Wei recycling point. 5 of them are Li's family members.
In the beginning, my mother forced me to join Tzu. Then, when my father retired, we'd ask him to join too. He says I forced him, but I didn't.
What started as perhaps something she didn't want to do, Li now shows up, even if she's missed the majority of the night.
Sometimes I won't be off work until 8 p.m. and I didn't get here until 9 p.m. But I still come here because I want to see my cousins and my parents. I still want to be here to support them.
Li Xueyi's father's job is to transport the recyclables collected to the recycling center at the end of the night.
Didn't you used to say that gasoline is expensive and parking fees are expensive, and why not donate that money instead? So how come you changed your mind?
What is unspoken is the unconditional love the father has for his children, giving his all to support his daughter's desire to help the environment.
Actually, it's pretty fun because the whole family is here. We all have a good time and everyone is having fun.
The night is lit dimly by the streetlights as everyone treasures this family bonding time.
As summer holiday is coming to an end, students in the United States are preparing themselves for the new semester. For those unable to afford a new bag and stationery, city volunteers in Los Angeles of California handed out bags and stationery to needy students at Fry's Avenue Elementary, George De La Torre Elementary, and Gulf Avenue Elementary schools. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.